Okay, in southern Illinois, we refer to lakes like this as strip pits. When they came in with the shovels to dig coal, they would dig straight down. Since this is an old pit and they stopped mining it back in the late 40s or 50s, you'll find that we still have the high hills and the very, very deep lake, and it's about 45 to 50 feet deep. The pit is a recreational area for gays and lesbians that are 18 years of age or older. We have had as many as 200 campers on a holiday weekend, but normally we'll have 100 to 150.
It's Memorial Day weekend. We're here with family and friends, and see a lot of people that we don't get to see throughout the year, and come out and have a good time. And it's a great place to be, and it is a great place to celebrate a 7-month anniversary if you choose to do so.
We love it out here.
A couple years ago, we came for the first time, and we've been here every major holiday ever since.
Probably will continue to, as long as they have it.
And enjoy the show.
Oh, yes. Yes.
You just get to be who you want to be.
It's like a lifesaver for us because where we're at, we're real isolated. And we do go to Champaign. There's stuff going on there that we can get involved in. But it's still an hour-and-a-half drive from us. And so we come down here like for 3 or 4 days when we can and just aren't able to be ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, what we're cooking right now is shish kebabs. We've been coming to the pit for 15 years. I've been out here for many of benefits to help build the pavilion, pour the concrete, and everything else. But we're all out here just to enjoy ourselves and have a good time because this is our meeting place in southern Illinois and for the tri-state area, including Cape Girardeau, Kentucky, St. Louis, Missouri, and everything like that. And we're all out here just as a big family as we are, having a wonderful time.
But the pit has a lot of history as far as the gay and lesbian community for southern Illinois and St. Louis. We're about 80 or 90 miles south of St. Louis, but we do have a lot of people that come down from the St. Louis area to either camp or hang out.
Okay, I'm from St. Charles, Missouri. It's like right outside of St. Louis, and I heard about the pit from a couple different girlfriends I had, and I think that it's a really great place. I think it's like, to me, it's like paradise, where you can come and be naked if you want, and wear clothes if you want. Either way, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. And if you're straight or if you're gay, it still doesn't matter. Everybody accepts everybody else here. And there's not really any place like this around where I live. So this is kind of our oasis, and we all flock from all over to this one place and get together.
We have had people that have come through on trips from different places in the United States, and they've heard about the pit and they've stopped in.
Well, I came to St. Louis on a hiatus. I'm a performer from Las Vegas. I used to work in Boylesque. I'm a puppeteer. And my friends said they were coming to the pits for Memorial Weekend, and I'd never heard anything about it, so I came with them and ended up performing for them. And I've had a blast this weekend. It's the first time I've been around this many women in ages. I've had a blast.
Okay, the only time we charge is on the 3 holidays, Memorial Weekend, 4th of July, and Labor Day. And then we charge $5 per person for the entire weekend to come in and camp. It is primitive. We don't have running water or anything like that. The rest of the year, anyone from the gay community is welcome to come down, either crawl over the gate and come in, or see Billy or see me, and we'll let them use our key and come in.
Back in '78, a friend of mine, she kept telling me about this swimming hole that I needed to come down here. And so I started coming out here, and I became one of the pit lesbians, an honorary member, and I finally got my key and came back, and then my life changed after, I'd say in the mid-'80s, and I got into a family business, and that's what I refer to as the lost years. And then it evolved to when I met Hal, and I told him, I said, let's go out to the pit. And I fell madly in love with the man, and I was so lucky because I literally lived a fairy tale romance for the first, what, 2 or 3 years, Hal? We were just dating, so to speak, but we were both madly in love. The most wonderful man I've ever known in my life, and he's treated me just like that. And I don't know how he's put up with me all these years because I'm pretty ornery. The next thing we know, we really didn't have a place to meet since Hal was still married. And Hal and I literally met out here every weekend for what, 2 years. But then the opportunity came to where we were able to buy the pit, and I don't know, I guess after we bought the pit, we went through some transitions. We changed a few things. We tried to clean it up and make it a safe, warm, and wonderful place for gays and lesbians and straights without attitudes. My man here, I have to say this too, works very hard. He's retired, and I still work. I'm a massage therapist, and I go to work every day and come back out here, and we live out here for basically the entire summer.
2 years ago, we added some camp area up to the north. The property is 41 acres, and it's about a quarter mile up this way. And we put in a road, and we opened up some new campground up that way. This is our shower, and it works. Believe me, it gets a lot of use. You just fill the bucket and get underneath here, and the water comes out. And the water goes a quarter mile to the west, and then it tees around to the north another quarter mile. Again, the depth is supposedly between 48 and 52 feet, and it is an old strip pit, so it is spring fed. We do have some runoff. Normally it's crystal clear.
Probably one of the biggest industries, or I think the biggest company around is Southern Illinois University, located in Carbondale, which is probably about, I don't know, 18 miles away from here. And that's where Hal and I lives, in Carbondale. We seriously thought about building a house out here, our dream home, but we both really like Carbondale. The diversity there is really neat. We've recently gotten LIRA, Little Egypt Human Rights Alliance, started. Hal and I have worked real hard for that. And we're doing some things, and Hal wants to run for city council. And we both realized that we didn't want to be stuck out here at the pit all year long. We stay out here for the summer, but you know, in the winter, we like to stay active, and Hal especially with community affairs.
Yeah, is that a beer bong? Okay, because we don't do beer bongs. Okay. All right?
I didn't apologize to you first thing.
That's okay. I didn't really,
You know,
I didn't
respect
expect,
you
I did
and
not
your
expect
serum.
an apology. I just wanted to talk to him and let him know that,
Right.
you know, he embarrassed you guys more
Well,
than
yeah,
anybody
I know,
else.
I feel terrible.
And, you know, he should have more respect for you guys.
Exactly.
I'd say a close assumption is still about 80% women. And of course, there's going to be more gay men down here because Hal and I are gay men. And even though we don't really hang we do have some gay male friends, but for the most part, we do really hang out with a lot of lesbians still. But more and more gay men come down, but I think there's a cohesion. Is that a good word? That's true. Hal had to remind me, gay men, as a rule of thumb, generally don't camp. I think statistically the lesbians are known to camp. So I guess that answers one question.
First of all, I was married for 25 years, and I have 3 children. I have twin daughters, Barb and Beth, and Jack, my son, is sitting here with me. But I did finally tell Jack that I was gay, and I had thought for many years that Jack might be gay. Jack said he was not gay. We invited Jack to come out to the pit several times, and he wouldn't come out to the pit. Well, finally he did come out, and he made the comment that he didn't think that the gays would like a straight person out there, you know. So as far as Jack has, I think, come to enjoy the pit, I don't know whether he knows this because we've really never discussed it, but the way Billy and I have our wills set up is that if I die first, and I probably will because I'm old, it goes to Billy. And after Billy, it goes to Jack. If both of us are killed at the same time, Jack gets the pit, but we're going to leave him a set of instructions of how to take care of it. And by God, he better, including the mowing.
Well, as I said, I knew that I was different from about the age of 15 or 16 on, and had no idea until Dad told me that he was gay, that he was gay. But it made the whole process a lot easier, and I just can't tell you how comforting it is to be able to be this close as we've become over the past couple of years. But that summer, when I met Randy and when I came out to the pit, I really discovered a whole family out here. And I think, we use the term family around here because we all are a family. I mean, there's everybody here from all different walks of life, and they'll do anything for you, anything to help you. And they're just here to be your friends and to listen to you and to talk to you. It's just thrilling. I'm just so happy that this place exists, and it's an honor to know that, and kind of scary to know that I'm going to be responsible for carrying on this tradition after Dad and Billy are gone. It's an awesome responsibility.
Randy, who Jack is now with, was the first one to come up with that idea. And then a few others have since then gotten plates with their key number. Of course, the key that was the most sought after key was key number 69. Okay, where do we go? Are we to the flamingos now?
We're to the flamingos.
Okay, we have a tradition. People bring flamingos down, put their name and the date, and then at our Halloween party, when we can get up the hill over here, we call that Flamingo Hill, and we move them up there. And we're hoping that eventually we can cover that whole hill with flamingos so it'll look like it's something out of Florida. This area down here is, we've got a lot of high water. That's a fire pit that we haven't been able to use this weekend. Normally, this whole area is a grass area, and we're able to use that to lay out and play washers, frisbees, whatever the people want to do. So, over the years, we've had a variety of entertainment, several different things. We started out with the drag queens from the local gay bar would perform. I think one of the funniest things that happened, though, one particular year, they got in a fight and decided not to perform. So Billy and a couple of other people out here put together an amateur show just among the people that were camping, and it was one of the best shows we've ever had. But we have had male strippers, we've had female strippers, we've had drag queens, we've had puppeteers, drag kings. We've had just a real variety, karaoke, people that are talented and get up and sing a number. It's just most anything you can think of. We have had several people get married out here.
I'd really like to have kind of like a little ceremony, a vow exchange ceremony down here on 4th of July weekend.
Okay,
Ask you
okay, sure.
do something for us.
Sure, we'll be glad to.
Great. All right.
Okay.
Well, about Saturday the 6th is when we're kind of planning it.
Okay, well, I'll be around.
Okay,
so
well, I know you will.
when you get here,
Okay.
just
Melissa, by the way, will you marry me?
right. Usually they ask me to kind of perform some type of a ceremony. However, we tell people if they want to come out and bring a minister, or whatever they'd like to do. We've had wedding cakes. We even had a bride last year in a wedding gown, and her spouse-to-be was in a tux. So, just a variety.
Well, it's raining again, and I really haven't seen a Memorial Day yet that it didn't rain at least once during the entire weekend, a nice good storm. At least this year it waited till actually Monday, which is the end of the camp. You know, basically everybody packs up and leaves, but you know, everybody always comes back. They don't, you know, the rain doesn't stop anybody here. We've even been known to mud wrestle and have a good time with it. So it's just nice to know that people don't let this stop them from camping, and they always come back every year, and it's always a wonderful time. Kind of funny, Hal and I both have our personal war against nature, and it seems we've had so much rain this year, as we did last year, that the mosquitoes, they want to bite you, and it doesn't matter if it's 8 a.m., 12 noon, or at 8 o'clock at night. They do not care. They come in droves. I personally really hate the mosquito repellent and the DEET and all that, but I have no choice in it. We have to put it on. But once again, that doesn't stop people from coming. They just get used to it. And I have a personal thing, though, with the snakes around here. I remember how last summer we had one that terrorized me for an entire week. Every time I would get out of bed in the morning, which this basically is my bedroom, folks. And, you know, the last thing I want to do is get up in the morning to go take my morning whiz, and there's a snake crawling in between my feet. But for the most part, all the critters and stuff, it doesn't stop anybody from camping. We haven't had a lot of problems with vandals, but we have had some. A couple of gals one year asked us if they could leave their boat right over here behind the pavilion, and they chained it up. However, someone came down here. They had to climb the fence to do it, and they, I guess, used bolt cutters, cut the chain and all, and you could see where they drug the boat out of here. And they stole some real strange things while they were at it, like brooms, ashtrays. And it was really kind of weird, the things that would involve, to me, work. Why would they steal something that involves work, like a broom? But as Hal was looking around, he went into a medicine chest we had up over here, and he goes, "Billy, they stole my bag of roofing nails." And I immediately knew what they had done. I said, "Hal, the assholes have put them on our road." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "They have put them on the road. Go look." And we did, and some idiot, I guess, I don't know if they knew we were gays down here or whatever. I don't know what the point was, but they had put them on our road here, right where the tire tracks were. But we picked up probably 60 nails out of the road, and I really think there was only one girl that got a flat tire out of it, so it's really not too bad. But at the same point, you know, we hate it when these people come down here and do this to our place, because we're really not bothering anybody. Back to the harassment, we had the barbed wire cut about 5 places on the road here, and they literally would crawl through the bushes and stuff and call us queer and faggot. And we only have barbed wire there basically to keep the idiots out. We call them gawkers. They like to come out here and see us because some, you know, clothing is optional at the pit. And I know there's probably a lot of people out there that don't advocate guns, but we keep a 12 gauge underneath our sleeping bag at all times. And we've shot over their heads a few times. We're known down here that we don't mess around with those straights that want to harass us. We don't shoot to kill, we just shoot over the heads. And I have to tell you, it's pretty funny when they run. I've never seen some people move quite so fast as a 12 gauge being shot over their head. So I guess the locals around here, for the most part, leave us alone. And I guess for the past year, really, we have not been harassed whatsoever. And we're really 2 years, really. No one's really bothered us, and we're really glad, because we're not here to hurt anybody.
You know, we really are not, we're not harassed that much. We do get good, very good cooperation from the Perry County Sheriff's Department. If we've ever had a problem, and when I've called them, they've been right out and been very helpful. So I think everyone that comes out here can feel, you know, safe, that it is a safe place for gays and lesbians.
And I think one of the goals that Hal and I had, probably, I think I was more obsessed with it than Hal, but my goal, our goal, was to get the original pit women back. And we did achieve our goal. Last summer was probably one of the finest summers we've ever had down here. And Paulette and Deb and Diane and all the women that used to come here are now, they come down here all the time now. They bring their little lunches and lay in the sun, take a swim, and you know, things just evolved to what it is today.
When I came back, there was a road and there was gravel, and it was quite the spot. People were signing out keys and gaining access, and it was just a very different place. And it was like, you know, like a resort area. It was very different than the wilderness that we had first come to in 1975.
I first started coming out here, I can't remember exactly. It was either my senior year in high school or the year after I graduated. And there were a bunch of us in high school that liked to hang out and party together, and so that's who I first started coming out here with. And then, you know, a few years after that, a number of us came out.
I think as the reputation of the place kind of spread, people came out here out of curiosity, and other people came out here just to, you know, to party. And when all these different agendas kind of collided, it created chaos. It got loud. People had loud music going. I think a lot of straight people came out here thinking that they could find an easy third, you know, that was certainly not the case. And it just kind of started sliding down the tubes, and it became a real unpleasant place to be. The energy was just really negative. And
I quit coming out here for quite a few years, and now since Billy and Hal have the place, the last 2 or 3 years I've started coming back. I think Paulette called me, as a matter of fact, and said, hey, you know, let's go out to the pit. And I was like, oh man, I don't know, it's kind of a drag. And she's like, no, Billy and Hal have it now, and it's a pretty good place to go again. And so we've started coming back out here, and I think, I don't know, it was either last year or the year before I've been coming back, and it's really nice. It's a great place to hang out and a nice place to spend the summer.
And the problem for me was that I didn't know how to swim. And I was afraid to swim, and I was afraid of the water. My mom really scared me of the water when I was little, and I had tried again to start swimming when I was married to my husband, and he kind of liked to dunk me and stuff. So by this time I was really totally terrified of the water. And so Deb said, well, come up here and check out this water, which I thought was kind of peculiar when I found out that it was 60 feet straight down right off the edge. And I thought, well, is that where you learn how to swim? But the thing that was really nice was that I felt real safe with her, and the energy of the place felt real safe and soothing. And for some reason or other, I just wasn't as afraid when I got in the water. So, as a result of a summer of swimming in the pit, I left my husband and went with Deb, and that was about 19 years ago. And so the deep water is safer than one might think, I guess is what I would want to say.
The water does have a high sulfur content, and we talk about it as being the healing waters of the pit, because you can actually, if you've got a scrape or a cut and you swim in this for a couple days, it'll heal up just nothing. You know, it really has some therapeutic value. So it's an old pit, and that's why we have, I think, the beautiful scenery that we have.
The other day, I just couldn't even do it. I was like, we were talking about, and I was with some vegetarians, and they're like, oh,
You want to what?
I want to go
Get us out. Okay.
There we go.
Everything's set. Billy girl, love your hair.
All right. Very cute.
We're splitting ours.
Does anybody else want to split?
Sure, Billy. I'll
Because you don't have to. You can have a whole.
Who's got one hole? One hole?
No.
Isn't that good?
One time we got off work and
we went out in the parking lot. You know, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And all of a sudden we heard this, what was he saying? Help! We heard this real high voice, you know, or somebody said, help!
They're killing me, they're killing me. He was running across the parking lot as fast as he could go, and there were people after him.
So we,
Really?
yeah, so we took off and started running
This is
toward
Halloween?
him. No, this was another night. We took off and started running toward him, and it was these guys after him. They were trying to pull him in a car, and they were going to beat the shit out of him.
He said, I knew the dikes would save me.
Wait.
It was the dikes that saved me. They came to my rescue. The men didn't.